It's time for the One Bar and Lepica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lepica Show. I am One Bar, and Mr. Mike Zimmer just had a press conference, so we're going to hit up the highlights of that. Mostly defensive talk, a little bit of offense, and by a little bit, I mean really one nugget that's worth mentioning that we kind of already know, but he just said it again, just saying that the guard spot that is up for grabs will be settled sooner than later. So look forward to seeing that. They did talk about Dakota Dozier quite a bit. You can tell that Zimmer likes Dakota Dozier. And if I had to bet my shirt, I would say it's Dakota Dozier's job to lose. That was really the most talk on offense that's worth talking about. Otherwise, talked a little bit about Kirk Cousins, feeling a little more vocal, talked up Justin Jefferson a little bit. But defensively, he had quite a few things to say. Jalen Holmes, he talked about just that defensive end is a better spot for him. It's a spot that he's going to make more of an impact for the Vikings, which was actually good to hear, whether it's blowing smoke or not. At least he didn't come out and say that they're just trying to find a spot for this guy, just trying to find out where he can make an impact. It appeared that he was very confident that he will be better at defensive end. And I think Jalen Holmes will make this team. He will add decent depth on the outside there. We've seen it before where we've moved a defensive tackle out to end. Just look at Mr. Odenigbo himself. That's what we did with him. And it worked out pretty damn good. Speaking of Odenigbo, Zimmer made the comment that Odenigbo is just looking a lot more comfortable out there, a lot more loose, which isn't surprising after last year's second half where he just absolutely ripped shit up. And with Griffin moving on, heartbreak. That's the wrong side of my heart. Odenigbo is, I'm not saying he's just being handed the keys to that spot, but he's pretty much being handed the keys to that spot. So confidence is probably a little high for him, but it's good to hear that is true. Jaleel Johnson, he also talked up a little bit, said that he just continues to improve year in and year out. Somebody from the media asked him just how is Jaleel Johnson going to come in and carry the load? How do you feel he's going to do that? And Zimmer kind of shut that down pretty quick, basically saying what we've kind of thought all along is defensive tackle is going to be a rotation all game. He said he wants to keep everybody fresh. We know that they have the depth. They got some young guys at defensive tackle, some hungry guys that want to make a name for themselves. So I actually like that. That gets me excited. Jaleel Johnson and Shamar Stephen doesn't get anyone overly excited, but when you throw in guys like Armon Watts, Hercules Mataafa, James Lynch, that gets a little exciting. So I love the thought of that. I love the thought that they're going to be working guys in, and something tells me out of that group, like an Armon Watts or a young Lynch, will make them very happy as far as what they bring, and they'll be very, very fresh. So DJ Wanham, a guy that we really haven't heard a ton about at practice. He just went on to say that he's been showing a lot of athleticism. What I got from it is basically he said this dude is extremely raw without saying this guy is extremely raw. So DJ Wanham, it's going to be interesting to see what he brings to the table this year. I could see him as a guy that's just inactive a good chunk of the year, and maybe he gets out there. But who knows? Danielle Hunter was very, very raw as well, and we saw what had happened with him. No, I'm not comparing him to Danielle Hunter. So, yeah, it was good to hear at least a little bit something about DJ Wanham. He's kind of the mystery guy out of the draft. And then, of course, Cam Dantzler just repeated everything that we've already heard. He's ahead of the game. He's turning heads. I think it's safe to say that Zimmer has a little bit of a man crush on Cam Dantzler as well. He's drinking the Cam Dantzler Kool-Aid like all of us are, but you can tell he's excited about him. You can tell that he might have found a little diamond in the rough there. So that's pretty much it. That's all I had to say. We'll be back later to recap the Vikings practice today. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow.